In this video, I'm going to talk about how Bronfenbrenner would analyze the social context of development and how he would view family processes. And that would be with his idea of the microsystem, mesosystem, exosystem, macrosystem, and chronosystem. So I'm going to talk about these environmental systems that he says plays a part in all types of development, including connected to the family. You might remember some of this from chapter 1. So the microsystem is the setting in which the individual lives. So this is your home. This could also be your school, your job, those sorts of things all fall into microsystems. You are directly connected to it. You're a part of that system. The mesosystem is the link between your microsystems. So, for example, if your kid is sick, so you can't go to work, that would be a mesosystem link. Or when you're planning your classes for next semester, if you have to take into account what your job schedule is versus what your kids are going to be doing, that is, or having your kids at home, that's going to be mesosystem. Now, if you had to think about what your spouse's job was and when your spouse was going to be working when deciding your schedule, that's going to be an exosystem thing. And the exosystem is the influence from another setting that you don't directly experience. So, for example, when I move next summer and have to leave my job at Coastal teaching because my husband is going to be assigned to a different job with the military, that is going to be an exosystem. I'm not in the military, but my spouse being in the military affects me personally in where I live and what my job is. That's going to be an exosystem factor. It doesn't directly influence you. You are not directly a part of that setting, but because usually someone in your family is, it is going to affect you. Or if your boss becomes really evil, if your boss gets into a fight with his or her spouse, that's going to be an exosystem. You're not married to the spouse, but that relationship affects you as well. The macro system is the culture in which you live. So living in the US versus Japan is going to be different. Living in Jacksonville versus Boston is going to lead to differences in how your family works and what your views are and opportunities, whatever it is. That's the macro system. That's your culture. And that's a little different than chronosystem. Chronosystem is the larger part. That's the socio-historical circumstance. So, for example, the fact that in 2014, we've gone from 10 or 12 states with gay marriage to over 30. That is a chronosystem thing. That is the socio-historical context as we talk about things like gay and lesbian relationships this chapter. How has the stigma associated with that or the social acceptance of that changed because of the socio-historical context, the chronosystem? When we talk about the number of working mothers versus stay-at-home mothers, that's chronosystem. When we talk about the number of cohabitating couples, the socio-historical context has significantly changed that in the last even 20 years. So all of that's going to fall into chronosystem. It's not the overall culture, it's the culture because of this specific moment in time. So the socio-historical circumstances. So immediate settings, link between those immediate settings, other people's settings that still influence you, your culture, and the time period. That's what Bronfenbrenner would analyze when looking at families.